Lads, I had to come on here again. We are still away from the house. We're still at the ladies' house, but Chelsea FC have just signed Morgan Rogers for 177 great British pounds. I almost said great American British pounds. That would not make sense. Record fee. Okay, record fee of 117 million. Caicedo was 115 million and Enzo was 107. Did Chelsea FC overpay for him? We'll get into all that. But this would be a short video, it'll be nice and sweet. We'll just get straight into it. Again, did Chelsea overpay for him? 117 million. I can see why a lot of people do think we overpaid for him. And I think we did. In my opinion, I do think we did overpay for him. But Arsenal were just about to sign him for around the same amount of money. So regardless, if we wanted him, we were going to have to pay that money. Again, do I think he's the quality player of 117 million? No. But when other teams are in for him for 117 million and you want that player, Xavi wants that player, then yes, he does become worth 117 million, if you know what I mean. If Xavi believes he would be that important in the future, and next season and, so on, then yes, he is worth the 117 million. If you guys know what I'm saying. But look, it's just hilarious because Arsenal fans were already making videos of like, how will Morgan Rogers fit into the team? How will he work with blah, 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 this, that, already the Premier League champions. Now we're just getting even better. And it's just so funny to see how all that's came together. Now all of a sudden Chelsea have hijacked. I mean, I was literally on the golf course day. I was on like the 5th hole just chilling on the golf cart because we were falling behind other people. I'm literally just sitting there and I'm like, I look over my brother. I'm like, oh my God, we literally just signed Morgan Rogers. Crazy. And then I couldn't stop talking about it the rest of the time we were at golf. But it's just so funny because I have to say Chelsea having a bigger pool, finishing 10th than the Premier League champions is just, yeah, that's so crazy. But at the same time, I mean, that's the food chain for you. He could have went to one of the best teams in the world and played Champions League. But you'd rather come to us. Yes, we will most likely be in the Champions League next year, so he's only sacrificing 1 year. But, months ago it seemed, he wouldn't come to us since he won a Champions League football. And I feel like all the accounts I follow, all the things I see on YouTube saying like, oh, Chelsea FC aren't in for him anymore because he wants to play Champions League football. All it takes is Xavi having one call and now he's come to us. Even Palestra could have went to the Italian champions Inter Milan, where he would have had a very successful career. But Xavi Alonso made the call, told him how he was going to be in the plans, told him how he was going to work with the squad, and he wanted to come here. And I was just about to make a video on how Chelsea was really struggling. Tomorrow I was about to make a video on how Chelsea really struggling. In the transfer window, we're not really signing anybody, but this, makes it so different. And Xavi Alonso, going back to Xavi Alonso, he's just the type of pool that Chelsea FC needed for the club. We needed a man like that who would be able to, get in these high-level players, or else we were going to really struggle. But whatever. Bringing you back, is he overrated? 55 games, 14 goals, 11 assists. So 25 goal contributions in 55 games. About every other game he'd have a goal contribution. He's a cam, so obviously, numbers aren't really that important. Even Cole Palmer last year, we still knew he was like a pretty good player, even though he was struggling with the numbers. Yeah, I think it'll work with him. Yes, I think he's overpaid, but with him and Palmer being best friends, you got the cold celebration of course. Playing against the low blocks as well, I think him and Palmer would be able to, I'm assuming if we're playing the 3-4-2-1, it's going to be Rogers on this side, Palmer on the other side. I guess it can just change, whatever. And Joao Pedro up top. You would hope Joao Pedro's up top, but you never fucking know. But I just think against low blocks, they'll be great with each other. They'll be able to have the wing backs like outlining, overlapping on the wings, and I think that'll really help, getting crosses in the box. I just think we'll be able to break low blocks down twice as good now with Palmer and him. Moving on. So as long as, obviously a lot of this has to do with Cole Palmer, and like, is Cole Palmer going to be the same as he was last season? Because if not, then Morgan Rogers probably will flop. So we're really banking on Palmer to be really good again. But I think we needed a cam anyway. All players that were going to kind of play in that attacking spot were wingers. Even Esteban Willian, I'd been saying he can go play that cam spot around him, which Esteban can play a cam, at least I think. But, with Morgan Rogers coming in, it's a player that's actually played Cam before, so I'm just saying I think that'll be really good together. I just hope Esteval, I just fear where he might play, if he might not play that much, but we'll have to see. I'm sure he'll still play because Xabi Alonso, I think, really likes him, whatever. But I can just imagine him saying that we got Rogers, and like, yeah, he's probably excited because he's a great player. But at the same time, it's just like, bro, like that's a player in my spot. I just hope Xabi doesn't stick him at the right wing or left wing spot because that just would not work for us. He would suck at that, and I just don't want him to be benched a lot and just not improve. Because then we're just wasting him away, and it's just like, this is someone that I absolutely love. I want him to become Chelsea's best ever player. Yeah, it's high hopes at a very young age, but whatever. So with how I'm feeling now, again, I feel a lot better now about the transfer window since we signed him, Palestra, but Barco, I guess, coming in, he can be another left wing back, which I actually forgot about in my video yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe. But I'm feeling better now. I still think we need a center back. If we sign a center back, I'll feel not great, but definitely a lot better. And if we sign a center back like Lacroix, I definitely think, okay, now we're there. Now we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. But either way, Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, I think that's a success. And I'm really excited to watch him play for England today. Thought he was good. Simple as that. So, it'll just, we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm excited.